They're Britain's most run-down abandoned buildings.
All we've done was bought a building and turned it into a mess.
From crumbling historic relics
Whoa!
to industrial landmarks on the verge of collapse.
You can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs.
But across the country, brave and ambitious home builders
Careful where I swing.
are taking matters
Let's go!
and tools into their own hands
Are we completely mad doing this?
to rescue
What have I done?
and transform these derelict properties.
It's perhaps a cliche to feel the hand of history on your shoulder, but kind of do.
Taking on such neglected places
The roof's leaking, the windows are so rotten.
is fraught with risks.
Easy.
There's no point worrying about something you can't do anything about.
With the tightest deadlines
We'll be in for Christmas. Don't ask me which Christmas.
and even tighter budgets.
We will have completely emptied every bit of savings we have.
These are the families gambling everything
This is the human side of taking on a task like this.
for a new life in a stunning new home.
It's all in your mind and your wallet. They're both empty.
You really must get rid of that post.
Which one?
That one in front of us.
That one? Why?
It drives me crazy.
Deep in the woods, in the heart of rural Lincolnshire,
We need to get the children scraping this mud off the road.
Slave labour again.
is this incredible place, the ghostly remains of a wartime military hospital. And this, the site's abandoned and crumbling water tower,
Well, there we go. Someone's tried to make a hole. Isn't that just poetic?
ravaged by the elements and years of vandalism. This is the last place you'd expect anyone would want to live.
Sometimes it can be daily. We will ask them to leave, and sometimes they'll run off, sometimes they'll actually leave. And then they'll wait, and they'll go out, and they'll come back again.
But plucky local couple Sean and Mary are taking the biggest gamble of their lives to make this their new family home.
We have a connection to the site, both of us do.
It was a huge base. It wasn't just a little hospital. My father-in-law was an electrician here. My sister says she was born here. I had my tonsils out here. It wasn't just a military person, it was people who lived in the local area. So it had a big impact on people's lives.
Back in 2006, Sean's passion for preservation bagged him a side job protecting this unique historic site from unwanted intruders.
At that time, the local authority was serving notice on them to get the place secure. And so I came along and said, it won't take me long to walk around here. It'll take me an hour of my time just to walk around and keep it secure. And we built up a relationship.
Watching over the old hospital site, tree and landscape officer Sean fell under the spell of its quirky water tower and decided he wanted to make it his home.
I've constantly been asking him, well, could you sell me that? Could you sell me that?
Eventually, they did. In 2018, the tower became theirs.
This existing floor that's there is going to be removed. It's in the wrong position, and we're putting 3 floors in, so it makes it a 5-storey building.
Full-time mum Mary now finds herself single-handedly project managing a highly complex, high-risk build.
It becomes quite overwhelming for me because it's like, how is it really going to look?
The tower conversion will eventually be a family home for Mary, Sean, and 2 of their 5 children. In theory.
Why would anybody want to live in this, really?
With structural and design challenges at every turn, it's no wonder Mary's experiencing a few jitters.
Hopefully it will work. It's scary. What have I done? What has my husband done, actually? I can blame him. I'm not blaming myself. It's his problem, his fault we're in this position.
But husband Sean is undaunted.
She's got the brains. I know she can do it, and I know she can project manage this. It's just having the belief to do that.
The couple bought this tower for the incredible bargain price of just £25,000.
We're going to have a timber frame structure there with the glazing. My brain was going pound signs, you know, because that's expensive.
But they'll now need to throw in all of their savings and sell their current home to complete its transformation.
I'll be happy if it didn't cost above $350,000. We might be able to stretch beyond that. I'm just accepting what will be will be. So let's hope. I don't really know at this stage.
And to top things off, they also have added preservation pressures.
We have a responsibility, I think. It's an historic building. A lot of people were born here, worked here. It means a lot to them, and so we've got to give it justice.
Built at the height of World War II, the Water Tower is one of only 3 of this style still remaining in the UK. The stocky red brick tower supplied the huge head of water essential for treating thousands of injured soldiers who passed through the hospital during wartime. Mary and Sean's ingenious conversion will retain many key features of this historic building, whilst transforming it into an extraordinary, one-of-a-kind family home. Divided into 5 new floors, the tower will provide the entire sleeping quarters for the new home, with 7 cosy bedrooms in total, culminating in a luxurious master bedroom and a terrace, with perforated bricks offering a glimpse of the surrounding woodland. A new internal staircase, lit by a glazed roof from above, will give access to all floors. And there'll be 2 bespoke gargoyles on the roof. 15 windows will be added in random positions, giving the unmistakably utilitarian tower a domestic look. Connected to the tower, a lightweight timber-framed and glazed structure built on top of the existing holding tank will accommodate all the main living areas. The ground floor will house a gym, utility, laundry and storage rooms, and a plant room for their heating and water systems. On the first floor, Mary's dream kitchen diner will take centre stage, with a snug study for Sean, along with a spacious living room and terrace, perfect for entertaining the couple's 5 children and 4 grandchildren. This epic water tower conversion will ensure that a vital reminder of a much-loved military and civilian hospital survives. But whether such inexperienced home builders can pull off such an impressive project, only time will tell.
There's not a lot of original features left in this place, but this is, and I love it. This is one that we're going to keep. It's going to be put somewhere down here, I think, on this ground floor.
The couple are determined to preserve as much of the heritage of the water tower as they can.
I actually think that is quite beautiful.
But there's a pressing medical need for this build to get going sooner rather than later.
The way he walks, he'll fall over for no reason. So he's showing signs that he possibly could have motor neuron disease, but who knows?
It runs in the family. It's something that my wife and I, we've put in for the genetic testing, so we put forward for that, so we'll get the results when they come through, when they come through. But the important part of the tower is that it's future-proof, is that it has a place where if I'm in a wheelchair, then I can be there.
You can't dwell on it, can you? But it's there in the background. So I want it done so he can get as many years out of it, just in case.
Let's get going!
Powering forward with the first stage of the build.
Right, what we'll do, I'll just back up, we'll open up the fencing and just get set up.
Is demolition expert James.
Mary asked me if I'd be interested in doing a demolition. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I came down and I thought, oh, is it the tower that's getting demolished? And she said, oh, no. James, we're going to be living in the tower. I was like, all right, okay.
He's crazy, isn't he? James is a lunatic. He loves his job. I'm so glad I found him, actually. I'm so glad I found him.
Structural testing has revealed that the concrete holding tank next to the tower is too unsafe to support a new timber-framed extension. So James is ripping the whole lot out. And he's clearly loving it.
When I get going, I'm just going to eat into it and just don't stop. Just keep munching. I'm hungry for concrete.
Mary, on the other hand, has lost her appetite.
Seriously, I'm feeling sick. My heart is just going like crazy. You can feel the vibrations under your feet. Whoa, did you see that? The whole thing lifted. I hope the tower's going to be okay. I'm panicking.
James needs to flatten the entire structure.
He's in now, that's good.
But one wrong move and this machine could send the whole tower tumbling down.
I've just called Sean. He's getting nervous as well, I think. Hi, darling. He's doing all right. I'm absolutely terrified right now. He went to lift it and you could see it lifting halfway across the lid.
That's because it's connected to the foundations.
James's concrete munching has taken a big bite out of the start of the build.
It's not an easy, quick process, is it? But it started. There you go, that's 3 loads so far.
4 months later...
One at a time and I'm puffing and panting.
The builders have barely nibbled at the edges of the new block base.
Yeah, I'm getting too old for this.
All that stuff you're going to get crushed, well, it's going to be utilised in here, isn't it?
Mary's chief builder, Adam, is used to tight budgets and deadlines, but even for him, this one's a challenge.
You said you're going to show a little bit, aren't you?
Yeah.
I don't know which bit you're going to show.
Well, the render's going to come down to here, isn't it? If everything goes their way, they can achieve it, but I think it might be a longer project than what they first think. Overall, yeah, it's going to be quite tough.
Mary's ambitious plans to have the holding tank extension built and watertight in just 3 months' time are already looking like a fantasy.
It's nearly October. Realistically, February, March, maybe. Whereas I wanted to be in by Christmas. There you go, 4 loads.
In Lincolnshire, rookie project manager Mary's been busy dreaming up novel ways to raise some much-needed funds towards their money-guzzling tower.
So this is the water tower. This is where we're living, kind of, if you can call it living.
She now shows war veterans and ex-patients around the dilapidated wartime hospital grounds next to the tower for a small fee.
Just need pennies and then we can get started.
So that's the station headquarters building.
Like Doreen, who had her 2 children here and is now back with her husband, Ian.
I was laid on my back with my legs in stirrups.
That's how it was.
My bed was as you came in the door.
Yeah.
And the other one was that in.
And you remember the window?
Yes.
So you're becoming a first-time mum?
Yeah.
You need to get a photograph. It's part of who we are. It's nice to be able to share that history. And so, yeah, it's nice having a little bit of extra money there to go towards the build.
And she'll need every penny, as it's not long before Mary is firefighting another building site setback.
Do you know how much weight is that taking the timber right the way up then to finish?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, they've just a timber portal frame. So that's all the weight of that timber frame goes down those posts. Yeah, that's something we need to talk about.
The next stage is crucial. A attaching the timber-framed second-floor structure to the first-floor block base.
The problem is that the timber posts need to bear down onto something that's the same size or bigger than the posts themselves.
And the posts are 200 mil by 200 mil?
Yeah, and they currently sit on a 100 mil wall. OK, so they only sit on half.
The timber structure can't teeter on such a narrow block base. Mary, Adam and architect Neil need a plan B.
So we've just been having a chat.
Oh, no.
No.
Smart thinking Adam's had a brainwave.
I came up with an idea that we, like, rather than put in additional blocks on this inside to help these posts, I've come up with a corbel.
What's a corbel?
Good question.
A corbel is a stepping out detail, you know, like you see around eaves and gutters on houses. The solution we're hoping will get passed by the structural engineer is to corbel out a couple of engineering bricks on top of that inner leaf.
Oh, so you're balancing it over.
Yeah, but rather than
and then the post sits on that, and the weight will be transferred straight down that inner leaf of blockwork.
That's your best option.
Yes! I knew you'd come up with something between the two of you.
Plan B looks like a goer. No need to go through the entire alphabet. Phew.
If we get these bits wrong, it will cause all sorts of problems. I'm hoping it gets easier for her as she learns more, but I think she's got a good few months of it yet.
Hello, young lady.
And sure enough, come January...
So I've just got off the phone with the timber frame company.
Things are nowhere near getting easier.
We've got to pay another $10,400, which I've worked out is like another 24% on top of the contracted amount, basically.
It's just business. He's putting forward that he's got costs, and that's all they're doing, so they're just trying to pass them on.
If we're going to have to pay that amount more, it's going to kill us. I think I'm going to need your help in this one.
Don't worry, I'll talk to them.
But until the problem's resolved, all work on the site is on hold.
We're trying to negotiate with the company to see if they can shift. They could back out, and then we're starting from scratch again. Sorry. This is the human side of taking on a task like this. It's not easy because you're putting everything into it. When I get past the angry stage, that's when I start getting emotional.
Desperate to get things going again, Sean's stepping in with his usual reflective calmness.
Everything is an individual, and it's not quantifiable. You look at our tower, and they did it in 1940 and no one made a record of it. And so someone approaching that to price goes, I don't know. And we go, we don't know either.
But there's always a deal to be done.
So we did come to an amicable solution at the end of it.
And 2 months later, look what's arrived.
I needed him to take over because he's very diplomatic. I'm very emotional.
For Mary, it's been a learning process. It's a time when you negotiate, and the objective is not to get upset or angry, but to find a way and to move forwards. Mary's getting used to it. She will do.
What does it say on the drawings, how long that's meant to be?
3115, that is.
And a few weeks later...
We'll just make sure that the centre ones, these ones, get raised up by 22 mil.
the slightly more expensive timbers are finally going up.
I'll just get the other one out a bit. Oh, no, back to me.
It's nice to see a wall, yeah. Starting to see the scale of it now.
On the bottom here. Knock that back in.
With the timber frame in place,
Yeah, I don't mind doing this. I like sweeping.
Mary's gearing up for the next big stage.
I think that's better. Better workspace. Till they make a mess again.
The fitting of 50 giant panes of glass.
It's exciting.
They actually got the glass happening.
Yeah, the glass is here.
So actually, you've seen it, it does exist.
Yeah, it exists. It really does exist.
Each one of these panels cost Mary and Sean nearly £1,000.
By 4 and 10.
Making sure they each get into place in one piece is lead glazer Peter.
Ready, puppy?
Yeah.
We'll find out in a minute if it's going to fit.
I will fit.
Peter's definitely a glass half full kind of guy.
Right, just watch the bottom on those pudlocks, yeah? Yeah, whoa, you got the sucker again. We're popping that one in. At the bottom. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, look, it fits.
Oh, wow.
First piece.
I see a reflection. This is a monumental. This is the first piece of many.
Going home now. Yeah, yeah. It's Friday, we finish early on a Friday.
Hi, Catherine. Yay! Food! Glass! We have glass!
Mary's daughter Catherine's arrived with a celebratory packed lunch.
Hot food and cold food. Thank you. Coming in. Have a look. We've got glass. Look.
Yeah.
It's glass.
Which child is going to have to clean these windows?
I know, it suddenly dawned on me today that I'm going to have to clean all these windows. Don't you want to touch the glass?
I'm going to get my fingers all over it.
Then you can clean it.
Exactly my point. So I'm not doing that, no.
You in?
It's nice to finally get it. Glass completes a home, doesn't it? Once the windows go in, it begins to feel like it's a livable space.
But now, to get any further with their new home, they first need to get the money from the sale of their old one.
So I haven't moved for a long time. I've forgotten how to pack. The longer it takes to actually complete on the sale of the house, we're looking at not having the funds. There's enough, I think, to almost finish the first phase, but to start on the actual tower itself, the money's free, is tied up in the house. It's just kind of, we are in limbo land. We really feel like we're in limbo.
There's that T-shirt of yours, darling. It's been missing forever.
Yeah. Well, we're going to need it because it's going to be cold in here.
In Lincolnshire, Mary and Sean are settling into their new quarters.
It's a pain in the neck having to fold up the bed all the time.
It is as it is. At least the lights are working. At least we've got power.
Gotta find somewhere to put the clothes.
It's not exactly the housewarming they'd imagined.
We did well on the sale of the house, so that's given us a nice little lump sum of money now to move forward, and hopefully that's going to be enough. You've got to sell to have free up the money, but you want the space as well, isn't it? I'm glad we've only got the two youngest left. Because they're older, they're teenagers, they're pretty resilient, aren't they? They're up for adventure. We've always had camping holidays. It's just like camping, except kind of, I don't know, in winter. It's freezing.
Meanwhile, daughter Catherine, son Nathaniel and family dog Penelope are also camping out in the now half-finished holding tank extension.
I don't want to be in here. However, there's nowhere else to stay.
It's all right doing stuff under torchlight, but it'd be nicer to have power.
Penelope loves it, actually.
She's generally all right. She enjoys waking us up in the morning.
But all the pain is worth the gain.
Success!
All 50 panes of glass were fitted into the holding tank, and they now have the funds to finally start work on the tower itself.
Today we've got the first day of getting the windows cut out, and that is a long time coming.
Leading the charge to get all 15 windows cut is Liam.
The wall itself is 470mm thick. These bricks are really old as well, so they're a lot harder than the bricks nowadays.
And there's my window, it's exciting! Every day you look at the tower and you go, but there aren't any windows yet, there aren't any windows yet, and it's frustrating. This means that other things can start to happen. That's going to be quite high up. I wonder if I'll be able to see out of it.
Yeah, sorted, completed.
But just as the tower finally starts to take shape, the test results for Sean's suspected motor neurone disease have come back.
We saw the consultant and he got the diagnosis of MND. We had a bit of a cry together. That's one of the frustrations of how slow the build is, because I want Sean to be able to enjoy this dream that he's had. I want him to be able to enjoy the fruits of his labour, so to speak, before he gets to a point where he's in a wheelchair. I have felt for a long time that this was his gift to me, that this was his making sure that I was fine in retirement. Yeah, it's still raw. Even though we know, it's one thing guessing, it's another thing getting the diagnosis. It's another thing confirming and thinking, okay, I wish I wasn't right, you know?
The devastating news means Mary's more determined than ever to turn Sean's dream into reality.
They're not heavy, they're just awkward and I don't want to drag them. It doesn't help when the wind is strong.
Which today means sailing closer to the wind than she'd planned, as she needs to manoeuvre all the insulation to shelter before it's lost to the elements.
They're just awkward. And I've just moved too. I'm going to kill my husband. Aren't you going up the top?
Yeah, I think I'll need to go up the top then. Come on, Thomas. Catherine, can you get the pulley line?
Fortunately, the whole gang has turned up to lend a hand.
Oh, Thomas, get it underneath. Look, tail up. Right, you and your mother on the bottom.
Wait.
I'm going to head up.
You going to be all right, Sean?
Yeah.
But with the wind picking up fast...
Right, and step back, Nathaniel.
Work together. Bring it up even. Keep going.
Mary and Sean's insulation could soon belong to the surrounding woods.
You all right?
Keep going.
All right?
Yep.
In Lincolnshire,
Last thing I want is the wind picking those up.
Mary and Sean's family have been roped in to hoist all the insulation for their water tower up to the very top.
Right, that's it. Wait.
You ready?
In strong winds. Talk about making life hard for yourselves.
Keep going.
You all right?
Keep going. Okay.
Push, push, push. Careful.
With all the insulation now safe and dry, Sean's on top of the world.
Do you like the windows? There will be windows anyway. So that one swings open, so my bed's underneath there, and I can come up here later and lie on the top of this and just look at the stars. Hopefully by Christmas. We'll see. It'd be nice if it happens.
Over the winter, the whole family push on.
So we've got to get the rest of the coping stones up. Ready, Carl?
Oh, yeah.
Another Christmas has been and gone, but with the water tower now structurally sound, it's another exciting day. The roof lanterns are ready to be installed.
It's nice to finally be at this stage. It almost feels like it's beginning to be more of a home now. This is significant. It makes us watertight because the joiner's now on site and he's trying to build the floors. It gets wet in there, even though we covered it.
18 windows need to be fitted on the tower, but it's the roof lanterns that will provide the wow factor and flood this former water tower with light. Window fitter Dan is taking charge today.
So we've got the machine ready, we've got the tower ready where we have decided to use that to access the glass onto the machine.
Yeah.
So we've got the two smaller bits first, we'll go with the easy side first,
Yeah.
and then we'll leave the heavy ones till later.
Are you concerned about the heavier ones?
I think if we try this one first, Mary, we'll get them installed, and then obviously we'll come back down and then we'll take most probably one big bit at a time.
I know how much it costs. There's a bit of a tint to it, and I think that's to stop any glare from the sun. So it's kind of nice to see that, you know. I'm looking forward to seeing it complete.
Yeah, you're in, mate. Yeah, there you go.
Unable to contain her excitement, Mary's sneaking a peek from the top.
This is the final piece for the lantern. Oh, that looks nice.
Got end, yeah?
Yeah, good.
Straight over there, yeah?
There we go, we're in. Nice tight fit, that's what we need. And that's what we've got. All done.
Done and dusted.
As simple as that.
Simple as that.
Wow. So what about bird strike?
Handle it.
It'll handle it. Yeah. What about very high winds?
Handle it.
100-mile-per-hour winds?
The glass will handle it.
The glass will handle it. Tower might not.
Tower might not. Glass will handle it.
And the nice thing is there's one less hole to fall through now.
They're still a long way off from completion, but there's light at the top of the tower.
Never had anything like this before. It's kind of nice. Perfection. You know there's glass there because of the reflection.
We can actually move into this site. It'll still be a bit drafty, but in theory, watertight. We've got heat coming in here. It means the end's beginning to get in sight. Beginning.
Another 8 months go by, and Sean and Mary continue to set their sights on making the tower side livable. Yes, this tower.
We're concentrating on getting the first 2 floors complete. That will give us 3 bedrooms. That will enable us to feel like we're not just living around a building site, even though we've still got loads more to do. I just want this build done now. I've had the whip out. I've been really pushing to try and get this done.
So Mary's brushing up on her painting skills.
I'm just going to do a little bit of this because it's driving me crazy. This beam is going to be completely exposed, so I need to make sure that it's painted nicely. We've got family coming in 2 weeks' time, and so I really, really want them to be able to sleep in the tower.
Seems a tall order.
Just feels like it's going to go on forever. I mean, it's like there's always something to do. Just trying to keep everything up in the air, because if I drop one, I might drop another and another, and I can't afford a decorator. That would be the easy way out, right? Where's the fun in that? It's fascinating to see the process.
And the fun continues.
Do we have an intact gargoyle?
I hope so. We've got another one coming.
As Mary and Sean push towards the finish line on this seemingly never-ending project. But 3 years after they started this extraordinary renovation, they have finally broken the back of it. And they're in.
What we started with was a tower which was full of graffiti with pretty much a mess. What we've got now is an innovative and interesting home that's a pleasure to come home to.
It's just peaceful. It's really nice.
Not the quiet and the seclusion.
It says the couple that raised 5 children.
Where that ugly concrete holding tank once stood, this now stands proud, enveloped in this natural wonderland. Of course, it's not yet totally finished. But it's clear this couple's extraordinary determination and hard work has paid off.
It's nice to finally see the stairs again, you know. Nice that they're not covered up anymore. First thing that you see when you walk in is the staircase. And so it needed to be the wow factor, and that's what we got, and I'm pleased with it.
On top of the old tank, the new extension forms the couple's main living space, with their dream kitchen big enough to host their large family, a cosy lounge area, and the terrace where they can enjoy that peace and quiet.
The living area over here, that's the best place for it because you've got all the views. You've got 3 sides where it's viewed. It's given us the space that we need with the size of family that we need, even though not many of them are at home anymore. It's all about the extended family, this place, isn't it?
I like it open. Now, even in the kitchen, you know, we've got a small window there. That's right in front of the sink because you get a nice view out of the sheep.
You don't need it for light, really, do we?
No, it's for sheep.
Plenty of light.
It's for sheep watching.
It's to make washing up more interesting because we didn't put a dishwasher in.
I've told the children they're my dishwashers.
Yeah.
And out on the terrace, an oasis of calm. The tower itself is still a work in progress.
As we can afford, we're progressing and we will get it finished. But it's also something that's quite organic, so that takes time.
Ah, Sean, ever the optimist. The first 2 floors of this 5-floor tower are almost complete.
This is going to be our guest floor. So this is the nursery for when the grandchildren come and stay. But there wasn't anything to say that you're in a solid brick building, so keeping these walls exposed on this floor, and we're likely to only do it on this floor, just adds that little bit more interest. It makes it more special, I think.
But it's at the bottom of the tower where we'll find Mary's favourite purchase.
This is our jet shower. It has 5 knobs. It does lots of different fancy things, but this one here absolutely gives you a squeaky clean bum.
Cheeky. This couple really have had to think outside the box to bring this wrecked wartime hulk of a building into the modern day.
It's an incredibly hard building. It's an industrial, it's harsh, it's got strong lines to it. And then looking at that and thinking, okay, how can I work with that? What can we do to make it into something interesting?
And interesting it certainly is. Their first floor wraparound aluminium framed windows really make you feel part of the woodland. And beneath these beautiful beams, their stunning modern kitchen is the heart of this unique home, where Mary can really show off her cooking skills. But this luxury life has come at a cost.
So when it came to the budget, we were hoping it wasn't going to cost more than about 350,000, 400,000 tops. And I think it's going to cost in that region of about 500,000, maybe a bit more.
But of course, Sean and Mary have had another driving force behind them to get this build completed.
So when we first got the diagnosis, it literally was a death sentence. It's, you know you're going to die and you've got a fixed period. Since then, they've come up with a treatment for it.
Not a cure.
It's not a cure, it's a treatment that will stay it off for longer. And it's not a nice treatment, but it's better than the alternative. The first stage is you accept that you're going to die soon. And that's a hard thing, I think, for anybody to think, okay, that's it. This is what you're leaving. This is where life's going. And it's not a bad thing to leave behind. It's as far as a point of self-expression, individual, it's got character to it.
I can't even imagine my life without Sean. So when he got his diagnosis, there was that desperation of wanting to hurry everybody up and to get it finished so Sean could enjoy it.
But it's not just Sean and Mary who have given their all to this project. Their kids, Catherine and Nathaniel, have lived a less than luxurious life to get to this point.
I was trying to do exams at the same time as living in a tent on the top floor of this place with like one window installed.
I wouldn't do it again, but definitely an experience.
I'm surprised they've survived.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
I think they've earned a slice or two of Mary's pizza, don't you?
Well done. You both managed to survive building a tower. You can't afford this kind of thing. Some sort of miracle you did.
You know what? It was a miracle.
Yeah.
It is a miracle.
Got there in the end.
I want to hear Sean's verdict on Mary as project manager, since it was his idea.
What I admire about Mary is that she gets up every day and she does what needs to be done. No matter how bad the day before has been, no matter how interesting the contractors have been, and that getting up every day shouldn't be underestimated.
Sean's always believed in me, always. It was his dream at the beginning, and I wanted him to be able to enjoy it while he's mobile, while he can. That has always been my biggest push. I just want to enjoy that time with him. It wouldn't feel right being here without him.
But the biggest question?
Has it been worth it? Ask me that in a year's time.
Yes, it has. It's a work in progress.
It will be worth it. It is. I mean, look what we've got. It was your vision, and I did the work to get it.
Yes, dear.